What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hustling Sideways podcast. I'm Allen Halas. I'm a music writer.
And I'm Jim Love, and I'm a motivational and keynote speaker. And we are in a video.
Yes.
Welcome to Bonus Monday.
Yes, it's a bonus Monday. In addition to our regular podcast where we interview tons of great guests and we talk about their side hustles, their passion projects, we're also talking about things that everybody that's got their own side hustle kind of goes through. Today's a good one.
It is. And also in addition to that, like just some life stuff generally that Alan and I like to share.
This one goes
Advice,
beyond.
But we do have a really good one. And Alan, you came up with a name, so I'm gonna let you take it.
Yeah, today we are navigating negativity.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Navigating negativity. Yes.
So this is like you said, not only a business thing, it's a life thing too. You know, we've come across haters. I know in your talk now that you discussed that.
Sure have, yes.
That it is something that no matter what you do, and I think because we are in such an open society now and the world keeps changing that, people are able to freely say whatever and, kind of come and go as they please.
Really no consequences.
Right.
Yeah, which is the problem.
It is inevitable that you are going to come across somebody or something that is just overly negative, some criticism of what you're doing or what you're putting out there in the world.
Just sort of enjoying being miserable. That's what I found with some of those folks. Really, and actually, the word haters is an acronym.
Okay.
And I did not coin this. I want to give credit words to Arik Jackson, who I've talked about here before.
Yeah.
My mentor. He coined this term. But haters stands for having attitude toward everyone reaching success.
I like that.
Heck yes. So Mr. Arik Jackson, you know who you are. And it's true. They just really want to be mad because someone's in their element or having a passion or doing something. And you will, if you haven't encountered that yet, you will. Passionate people just do. We're excited about something and people look at that and sort of want to bring it down because you're supposed to be on their level, not on your own level.
Right.
That's what I've found at least.
Yeah. How do you handle when you have somebody, whether it's an online comment or it's a whatever, in reaction to what you're doing? Because you have an overly positive kind of approach to your speaking, and that's to be it's kind of the motivational thing is to be positive.
Right, exactly. So I there's like two ways I kind of look at it. First of all, I acknowledge that someone has a different opinion than me. That's great. That's how the world works. But I don't waste my time with it anymore. I don't. Not everything warrants a response. That's my mind, because I oftentimes, particularly on social media, you're kind of like going back and forth, and nothing gets solved. You're just sort of trying to dunk on the next comment. It's not like and me. I don't like. It's not worth my time or energy. So I used to go in and would get a little fired up about that and be like, well, here's how I feel. And now if someone has that, I'm like, great. They put their thought out there, but I will never bow down to negativity. I will never be like, that's, I acknowledge it that it's there and that exists, and I reflect on it and know what it means for my life, but I want to create a change that's a positive change, and because I found myself being happier because of that. I can't dwell in all of that and let that ruminate with me. So now I just kind of don't care. That's really what I've come to the conclusion of that won't tear me down the way that I think people want it to.
Right, exactly. No, I think that's the right way to go about it. My business deals with the internet. So
do you all know about the internet? Should we explain the internet?
So internet is a series of networks. No, okay. My business deals with the internet, which means that without fail, and of course we are also reviewing things and putting people out in spotlights. Without fail, there's some negativity that comes with that.
That's like the nature, that really, 100% of the time I could see that.
And there's a lot of for as small as Milwaukee's music scene is, there's a lot of why did this person get this and I didn't get X, Y, Z, or why haven't you written up my album yet, or why
it's
haven't
very personal, I would imagine.
Yeah, right? And so I get this all the time where people are just overly negative because we gave someone or something else a little bit of our attention, and there's so few people making music here. There's a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's thousands of people that make music here.
Right.
But there are so few acts that really, really get to get everything. Yeah. And so that's that was the old mindset, was that everybody gets everything. That's kind of gone out the window now. Yeah. And especially with what I do with breaking and entering is we do really give a light to just about everybody. Yeah. So, but it's
about the music.
Yeah. But when we do encounter something negative, I kind of just tell people look, it used to really bother me a lot more than it does now.
Yep.
I won't lie, it did. But now it's kind of at a point where it's people should know our track record.
Right.
And I think we've proven that time and time again that maybe we missed one or two things. Maybe we just missed something. Like, that happens. Or if we routinely miss somebody, it's not intentional. It just life gets busy.
It's the way it goes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but like, fortunately, we have a track record of things to kind of build off of that are like, you can't say it's because of XYZ because we've probably covered somebody else with the exact same situation or a very similar one. I remember one time somebody actually said that we don't cover anything that was religious, like any music that was religious, because the person mentioned God. And I responded and I said, here's an article of a religious act that we put
literally
that was on our site. You know what I mean? So
funny.
It was like,
you have to like defend it almost in a way of like, no, we do that. But
yeah. So there really is no malintent behind those sorts of things. But when you do incorporate people that are come across people that are negative, I think like the best thing, like you said, is to just kind of block it and just be like, all right, it is what it is. Sometimes if the situation is dire enough, we'll go in and explain on it, or like if it's just a misunderstanding. Sure. 9 times out of 10 it is a misunderstanding.
Yeah, right. And I welcome productive dialogue. Yeah. I mean, you have to. That's how the world works.
Oh, but, absolutely.
When someone is responding and they so clearly are set in the way they're going to think and like doing it like, hey, FYI, that's not welcoming like they don't care about what I think. It's like, here's the truth. Yeah. It's like, well, that's your opinion, so it like that's where it's kind of and then it's just not worth going down this rabbit hole of like, what can my next response do? If you feel like, here's the thing, if you feel like what I'm saying is not your cup of tea, then don't follow me.
Yeah. And there's so many online interactions.
That's okay.
Are like pulling from the grasping at straws just to one up you.
Yeah, and it's it's like that Spider-Man meme of the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Like so I am like people. I'm not everyone's brand, and that's okay.
Right.
But like I care about what I do. I have passion for it, and I know the difference in my life when I'm focusing on being positive and making that effort. I'm happier.
Yeah.
And I want to share that with people. And if people think that that's a toxic way of thinking, then like I don't know what to tell you. That's just like that's not how I operate.
The beauty of the internet and the world that we live in now is that if there is something that you find is overly, just not what you agree with, you don't have to reply to those things. Yeah. You don't have to respond to those things. You can actually just find something else that is more in line, because there's billions of people making things, that you can just find something that's more in line with what you feel and what you're doing. So, gift and a curse, I guess, dealing with negativity.
So keep doing your thing and know that people are going to come after you sometimes, and that's okay. I feel like it's actually sometimes a good thing because you're being noticed, regardless. And maybe you take some notes from that. Maybe you change up what you're doing, or maybe you're like, that person just thinks the way they are, and that's fine. So be confident in what you offer.
You're commanding enough attention to get someone's response.
It's always a good thing.
I mean, just do your thing. Yeah. If you do run across somebody negative that's overly negative to the point where you're just like, I can't deal with it, don't. You can find somewhere else to go with it. You don't
have to. Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually just not. Yeah. So, but if you'd like to respond positively to something, you can do that to this show.
Particularly this show. We have a comment box. Yeah. You can share it and just say all the wonderful things are true about us.
And if you listen to this podcast, you can rate us with 5 stars wherever you're listening to your podcast.
$5 foot long.
Just 5 stars. Stars, the stars thing. The dollars may come later.
Misunderstood that one.
Yeah. 5 stars. You can rank us wherever. You can also follow this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. If this is your first time listening or watching us, welcome. We are Hustling Sideways. You can find us on Twitter. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube under Hustling Sideways. If you have a side hustle of your own, you can hit us up, and you can be a guest on this show because we do shows with guests. You can do that over at Gmail, so that's hustlingsideways@gmail.com, and we would love to have you on the show. We have a lot of great guests. We've got a lot of great episodes, and there's another one coming next week, Monday.
Get ready. Yeah. And on that note, keep on hustling.
We'll see you next time.